Part 400. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu. Chapter 3991. There may be thousands of people killed in this wave. Those who can get mixed up here are basically existences above the saint venerable realm, and even some of them are quasi-demigods or even weak demigods. On the outside, they are all absolute powerhouses that are second to none. But here, they all turned into ashes, and for a while, it made people feel quite embarrassing. While thoughts fluttered, the whole person looked dumbfounded. I can't express what I want to say. The picture in front of him was gradually destroyed. The chrysanthemum is broken and the ground is injured. Completely scared these people. Convinced. They will follow suit. If not, these guys will still choose to continue to pretend. In this case, if you play with a hammer, it will be a wave of crushing. Go up and do it. Just do whatever you want. This must not be cowardly. Do it to the end. That's basically it. So real and so apt. Steady as an old dog. Steady as Mount Tai. In fact, at this time, it is a contest of high-end combat power. At this time, in fact, the absolute peak demigod level combat power can decide everything. The combat power of the two strong demigods of the Protoss is roughly equivalent to the combat power of a normal peak demigod. The Protoss peak demigod combat power is almost equivalent to two ordinary peak demigod combat powers. In combat, the talent of the Protoss is too high. If you don't admit it at this point, you really can't do it. They do have such confidence and strength. These are all placed in that position. What about a hammer? That's basically what happened with this wave. Gradually, all thoughts and ideas became numb. As his eyes flickered, the corners of his mouth twitched to the extreme. The more he thought about it, the more chaotic and unreal the thoughts in his mind seemed. Chaos. 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 Total mess. Dark camp. Do you want to make a move? Kill the Saint of Shura. How about you and I join forces to seize the Divine Ladder? This is also the meaning of my elder brother, the Dark Pope. Kill the Saint Shura. Don't forget your identity. You are also a member of the Dark Temple. Maintaining the vested interests of the Dark Temple is your duty in itself. Kill the Saint Shura. Talk to you. Don't always face us with this attitude, can you? From the beginning to the end, have you been pretending to be deaf and dumb like this? What do you think? Can you stop pretending to be deaf and dumb? Speak. Speak. The roar gradually unfolded in place, and the eyes slowly became extremely red. The more I thought about it, the more mad and painful I felt. For a while, I didn't know what to say at all. Numb, this wave, completely numb. It's nothing, just follow the blindness and show it. The patience of the first-class saint motion in the Dark Temple has reached its limit. It's just that another first-class saint in the Dark Temple killed Shura so calmly from beginning to end. Kill Shura didn't want to go against Fang Fan. He felt some affinity with Fang Fan. It feels like they belong to the same clan. Between each other, it should be the same as catering to each other. In the heart, these thoughts will exist unnaturally. All of a sudden, the picture in front of him is changing. After that, killing Shura saw the 7 blood Shuras in the Blood Shura Legion behind Fang Fan, and his heart trembled even more. Pure Shura power. The realm and combat power of these Shuras may not be as high as mine, but one thing I have to admit is that they are very strong. They are really very strong. This is totally different. This kind of thing must be stable, Their Shura blood must be more pure than mine. They are pure-blooded Shuras. The god of Shura once left a prophecy. When encountering a pure-blood Shura one day, I choose to do it without hesitation. At this moment, I can't act without hesitation, but I can't choose to fight against pure-blood Shuras, right? Yes, yes, that's right. This wave must be suppressed. It must be suppressed. Azura, the first-class saint killer in the Dark Temple, gritted his teeth, trembling his lips, his thoughts gathered in his mind, and then let out a heavy breath. The whole person relaxed a lot at the moment. At least there won't be those stressful feelings anymore. The whole body is as stable as ever. Kill the Saint Shura. Are you playing this trick of pretending to be deaf and dumb with me again? How many times have I told you? Kill the Saint Shura. I hope you don't do this again. This matter, you must give me an explanation. Do you understand? The cold snort was in place, the cruel look in the eyes gradually gathered in place, and the complexion became more and more gloomy. If you feel so deeply, let alone tell it to someone. Nothing, everything is fluttering. In the end, there will be a complete end. At the very least, it is difficult to return to rationality in the true sense. Can't do it? Totally impossible. Mo Tien is already issuing an ultimatum. Of course, such an ultimatum is nonsense for killing Shura. He didn't care at all. What is there to be concerned about? Still don't care? In my heart, numb, indifferent and silent. For a moment, the eyebrows were raised, and the thoughts were being oppressed a little bit. Steady as Mount Tai. Tell someone more. Let me explain to you. Why? How old are you? Or else, play a game. I'm too lazy to care about your crap, but you don't care about mine either. Our well water does not interfere with the river water, otherwise, it will be broken. Just like the light camp, it's okay to break up directly. I think it's pretty good too. Otherwise, give it a try. Killing Shura folded his arms around his chest, and while talking, he couldn't help showing a look of hostility on his face. Those who are soft are afraid of those who are hard, and those who are hard are afraid of death. This repeated cycle, gradually, became what it is now. Sweeping across at a glance, it feels like that's the case. Gradually, naturally I don't know what to express. The whole person fluttered on the spot, and everything was said without saying anything. Safe as ever. Take it easy. Mo Tien, the first-class saint in the Dark Temple, immediately blushed. Son of a bitch. Got pissed off. He has a hard heart. Then subconsciously stood up, and then panted frantically, with a complex and abrupt expression. But in an instant, like a frustrated temper, he lost his temper. The whole person looked unsettled, as if he couldn't lift his spirits. Gradually numb on the spot, nothing. The whole person is as uncomfortable and painful as ever. Damn bastard. Everyone is doing evil. Kill Shura. Someday. My devil will make you pay the price. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3992. The arrogant guy will not end well after all. In the end, everything here will be completely terminated. Whirring. That's right. That's it. For a moment, the whole person was playing along. She was very angry, but she just didn't dare to take that last step. In this case, even if you are angry again, what can you do? Last but not least, hold back. I'll hold back. No waves. You can't wave. Of course, it doesn't move. In the future, I will have your good fruit to eat. Mo Tien clenched his fists and couldn't help but secretly hate in his heart. Motion's eyes continued to focus on Fang Fan, and at this moment he was looking for an actual stab to pick up a bargain. All of a sudden, the light in his eyes became more and more turbulent. This wave is very exciting. Very irritating. Very excited. Directly invincible in the moment, let alone tell anyone. As for the other first-class saint in the Dark Temple, killing Shura focused all his attention on Mo Tien at this moment. Whenever Motion did anything that would endanger Fang Fan's life, he would choose to take action. It's almost an instinct. Instinctively to protect your own kind? Instinctively to support a higher bloodline? Such thoughts gradually drifted away in his mind, and then he walked forward silently, couldn't help nodding his head slightly. Everything was kept silent. Such a taste still seems very real. That's it, safe and sound, isn't it good? There is no need to keep sand sculpting. There was a sense of embarrassment immediately. Protoss, the grievances at this moment have been put down. Attention is focused on the latter. Among the Protoss, strength is the most respected. Gu Sha is the strongest existence among this group of Protoss practitioners, so no matter what happened, Gu Sha is still presiding over the audience at this moment. I am now in the same realm as Cassius, the Lord of Tianlin City. I am not taking the ladder now to complete the desperate mission left by Cassius, I am for myself. Ah! There are so many mysteries in this divine ladder. It is conceivable that this thing is not simple. It is not simple. In this case, I need to be more vigilant. If there is a slight change, the whole game will be lost. Then it will be even more meaningless. In the end, it will still be fully open. It's not interesting at all. Just fluttering back and forth like this, what's the point? Either don't make a move, if you choose to make a move, you must kill with one blow. It's too late to fail. Any failure will destroy everything. No. This will not work. This is not what I want. Gudong. The sound of swallowing saliva followed, and Gu Sha, the first-class god of the Protoss Tianlin City, clenched his fists tightly, and the bones all over his body felt like they were splitting little by little. There seemed to be many gaps in the bones. That feeling, that taste, gradually became numb to the extreme. It's nothing, just playing around a bit. After tossing and tossing, the whole person went crazy. It's boring. Sand sculpture. Collapsed. Master Gu Cha. As long as you give an order, we will rush out directly, and we will kill all these bastards. Lord Gussa. We are all willing to die for you. Master Gu Cha, in fact, I have already seen it, you are the real son of destiny. Really? This is true. Master Gu Cha. What do you think we are going to do next? I'll listen to you. Master Gu Sha. Just follow the established steps. Master Gussa. Waves of anxiety could not help coming from the surroundings, and for a while, the picture in front of me was also updated and iterated little by little. At this moment, Quaid, the second-class god general of the Protoss Tianlin City, fully demonstrated his duty as a dog's leg. When choosing to abandon the Lord Cassius and serve under Gu Sha's command, there is no turning back. It's all gambling anyway. Since it is a gamble, then there is a possibility of winning the gamble. As long as you can win the bet, then it's not a problem. But if you lose the bet, it's really over. Now, keep that firmly in your mind now. For a while, the lips cracked little by little, and the sound of breathing gradually became extremely rapid. The feeling of ecstasy is about to be overwhelmed directly. Stimulate. It's too exciting. Invincible at the moment, let alone tell anyone. The rest, don't care at all. Sincerely, invincible. Follow this direction and keep running. Facing Quaid's flattery, Gu Cha seemed to have no reaction. Probably got used to it, and felt that this was what Quaid should say and do. If Quaid doesn't say that in the future, maybe he will react accordingly. As it is now, more wonderful ideas can't help but arise in my heart. Weird, no brains. According to the established rhythm, Basically there is no problem. Gu Sha seemed to have thought of something suddenly, and then suddenly focused on Talha, who was lying on the ground dying. Don't die first. Your brain is very useful. Tell me. Tell me now. What am I, what should I do now? Worrying. Talking to you. Talking to you. Don't pretend to be deaf and dumb. Say it. How can I snatch the divine ladder under the eyes of so many people, and then they won't ask me for it? Talk. Talk. Aren't you smart? Aren't you very smart? Isn't what you said before right? Ah. Now I'm giving you a chance, and you don't talk anymore. Hurry up. Gus's patience is emerging. A pair of fists were clenched so hard that blood was about to seep out. The more he talked, the more excited he became, and the more he talked, the more gloomy his face became. For a moment, the whole person was about to be crushed. Extreme resentment, directly suppressed. Such a feeling, in vain. Let's talk about a hammer. Nothing. Excited. It's surging. Rejoice. Even more pleasantly surprised. Gu Sha stared at Talha with great hope. He came here to ask advice. Although Gu Sha hated this Talha very much now, he had to admit that after several verifications, this guy's brains were really good. In many cases, some key information can be captured based on some details. This is no ordinary person. This is the boss. This is the real boss. At this point in his thoughts, the sense of hope in Gu Sha's eyes became stronger. He. You mean, if you get the ladder, those people won't ask you to snatch it? Is that so? Talha forced himself to say a few words. Right. Yeah. That's it? Say it. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3993. Gu Cha echoed anxiously, he really wanted to know the answer. Whimsical. Talha curled his lips and said sarcastically. Anyway, I don't care that much now. I feel a little upset in my heart, anyway, I just hate it when I go up. That's the attitude, very tough. It is directly crushed in place, and the sense of ceremony is particularly strong. For a moment, the picture in front of him seemed to change suddenly. The road to death doesn't matter at all. Quiet in the heart, everything can be told to someone. Talha's body trembled slightly, and then he couldn't help laughing wildly. These behaviors and measures appear to be very sandy invisibly. For a moment, his eyes trembled slightly, and gradually fell into absolute silence. Numb. This wave really went numb. That's basically it. Safe as ever. Thoughts gather here, what else can I say? That's all. The rest, don't care, really don't care at all. I always feel that there will be some distorted values in my mind. Are you looking for death? If you want to die, I can help you. Ah. Speak. Speak. Is it? Do you want to seek death? Say it. I can kill you right now. You should be clear, I have this strength. I advise you. Don't provoke me. Some things are not so random. The crazy thoughts deep in his heart were revealed, and there was nothing left to say about the rest. Everything is numb, completely messed up here, what else is there to say? Anyway, this heart has already collapsed. Cool moonlight, let's talk to someone. Here are a few more words. The complexion of Gu Sha, the first-class saint in Tianlin city of the Protoss, gradually turned red, and the hairs all over his body stood on end at this moment. Invisibly, the cold hair on this body has even sorted itself crazily. Just staring at it silently at this moment, there are endless lights flickering in the depths of the eyes. For a moment, I couldn't say a word, and my consciousness was also gradually scattered. Numb in the heart, this time I will tell who. Kill. Kill me. Kill me now. I beg you to kill me. How is it? Can you do it? I've already spoken to this point, is it clear? Ah. The rest, there is nothing to say, right? Kill me. Kill me quickly. Anyway, if this trend continues, the Protoss will eventually perish. Since it is certain that the situation of perdition cannot be wiped out, what else is there to say? The moment when everything comes to an end will be followed by a total collapse. Oh. He. That's it? That's it? Thoughts gathered in his mind, and while talking at the moment, his complexion gradually became sinister. Excited heart, trembling hands, and the brilliance in the eyes are flickering frantically at this moment. Overall, that's basically it. Steady. Everything is as stable as Mount Tai. Talha continued to prostrate on the ground, with an extremely sad expression on his face. As he spoke, it seemed that the picture in front of him was cracking little by little. He saw his future. At this moment, to put it bluntly, he just wanted to beg for death. He feels that he is already very tired. He didn't want to be so tired anymore. Right now, I can't even open my eyes. It's boring. If you continue to beat like this, you will only feel more anxious and uneasy. Talha. Are you crazy? Quick, stop talking. How did you talk to Master Gushat? Quickly apologize to Lord Gussa. You are too disobedient. Apologize. Perhaps, maybe Master Gusha will, still forgive you. Otherwise, this matter is really serious. I've told you so much, why don't I understand? Talha. What I mean, you should understand. The gesture of gnashing teeth flashed across the board. Lucas took a deep breath, and immediately reminded him from the side. Anyway, Talhana is also his brother. Although his brother is becoming more and more sloppy now, but overall, everything is still within the established rhythm range, and he can still follow the current situation safely. At the very least, I have to save my own life. This is the most important thing. For the rest, there is no need to follow Flutter. Damn thing. It's all dog stuff. It was so humming painful. The whole person, numb at the moment, can't say anything. Rugas, stop talking. I appreciate your kindness. I understand. I understand everything. He. But I've made up my mind, don't say more about the rest. That's it. Death is death. Death may feel terrible to others, but to me, it may not be a relief. Why? Actually, what I want is such relief. In my heart, I've had these ideas for a long time. This wave, just hold on tight. A muttering sound followed, and Talha gave a wry smile, and then he collapsed on the spot. In the heart at the moment, it is completely clear. For the rest, there is no need to say much. It is more than words. Nothing. Everything is nonsense. Ridiculous. Really feel very ridiculous. At this moment, I just want to laugh out loud. The situation of sand sculpture is being displayed like a sand sculpture. For the rest, what about chickens? You want to ask for death? Snort. Do you really think death is that simple? You want this, but I will not satisfy your wish. I'm going to torture you slowly. I want to make all your so-called pride explode. Everything is followed by silence. You can live well. Live and watch. Look carefully at how we seized the divine ladder and reached the peak. Talha, I will let you understand that I, Gussa, are the master of revival of the Protoss. Snort. What city, Lord Cassius? Everyone is a scum. Only my ancient temple can lead the Protoss to a bright future. Gushan narrowed his eyes, and a murderous intent flickered in his eyes. While speaking, the whole person seemed to be directly oppressed. That extreme sense of oppression surged in my heart, and gradually, I was a little speechless. At the moment, he could only whisper his lips, unable to utter the last sentence. Tastes and sensations appear extremely numb here. For a while, I couldn't say a word. It's numb, it's completely numb. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shuyu. Chapter 3994. Everyone is staring at the divine ladder. All want to snatch. Everyone's psychological world is more or less different. But if you take a closer look, you will find that the basic mountains are all the same. Different paths lead to the same goal, and in the end, we still have to walk on this path. The rest of the feelings gradually became numb, so what else can I say? A wave of suppression. Very real. Also very clear. The distinct sense of rhythm followed, and then some special melodies continued to fluctuate forward. When this special melody is fluctuated, the sound becomes more and more pleasant. It is more than words. Safe as ever. Shenqiu and Kathy, who were in the demigod realm, confronted Wangtu, the first-class saint in the Temple of the Light Alliance, who was in the demigod realm, and he couldn't make any more progress. For a moment, the rhythm was completely out of control, and the mentality of the whole person seemed extremely messy. With his eyes flickering, he couldn't do anything he wanted to say. As his lips muttered, black lines flickered frantically on his forehead. Such ideas, such state of mind, follow and show the most authentic rhythm virtually. Steady. It is indeed stable. As for those cultivators in the neutral camp, there is basically no one who can take the lead. If they dare to come and die, they will be directly suppressed in minutes. In addition, those cultivators in the dark camp are also waiting and watching. This is especially true for those cultivators of the Protoss. This wave looks extremely wretched. Sweeping over with a glance, he couldn't help shaking his head frantically. The rest, what else is there to say? Nirvana is nothing here, it just knows how to be blind. That's all. The last, the full end. The situation fell into stability. Call. Finally, it's almost done. Good on. This thing is indeed a bit scary. Almost frightened. Once this rhythm can't be stabilized, it will explode. Grass. Scary. Is it so scary now? Fang Fan, I think, just accept it when you see it. We can't go any further. Otherwise, it will be bad luck. Big things will happen. Boy Fang Fan, I'm not trying to persuade you to run away, I'm doing this for your own good. Boy Fang Fan. You have to understand my mind. Boy Fang Fan. What I'm saying now, isn't it clear enough? Boy Fang Fan. A muttering sound followed, and the brain was buzzing and trembling in place. Bai Piao's mouth has never been idle. At this moment, it is still beeping continuously. The more you shout, the more excited you are. The more you call, the more excited you become. Gradually, it will make your whole brain explode. For a while, I didn't know what to say. Silent in such a numb moment, gradually, speechless. Now they are on the 5th floor of the Buddha Palace. Above, there are 4 more floors. On the 5th floor of the Futu Palace, the first section of the Divine Ladder has already been seen. In fact, Fang Fan 2 already has 2 Divine Ladders. There is also a section of the Divine Ladder, which was naturally obtained from the inner treasury of the Lord's Mansion of Tianlin City of the Protoss. Now this section of the divine ladder suddenly fell into Xiaoxiu's hands. The relationship between Xiao Xiao and Fang Fan is there, Xiao Xiao got it, and Fang Fan got it, isn't that the same thing? Fang Fan raised his eyebrows. At this moment, his eyes couldn't help flickering slightly. The more you think about it, the more realistic your facial expressions are at this moment. It is more than words. This wave gradually follows the stability as before. Can't wave. Be sure to be steady. The two sacred ladders are in my hands, and there doesn't seem to be any special reaction now. It didn't bring me too many special gains. Could the so-called divine ladder benefit be true? Or, these things all exist in the illusory world? Fake. Perhaps it was false all along. In this case, it's me, I've been making mistakes all along. Is that so? As thoughts fluttered, the black lines on his forehead flickered all over. The more he thought about it, the more abrupt his feelings became. Crossing the line, the thoughts deep in my heart became more and more uncontrollable. With a messy heart, let's talk to someone. This wave, let's talk about a hammer. Nothing. It feels like I'm playing blindly. Boring. It's really not interesting. Anyway, the whole person seemed extremely numb. If the myth of the so-called divine ladder is just a legend, then these people will not hesitate to break their heads for a legend. What is the point of fighting to the end with blood? If they really understand this, what's the point? Everything seems very mysterious. Fang Fan let out a foul breath, his body couldn't help shrinking as his expression changed. The more I think about it, the more I can't grasp the emotions deep in my heart. This matter is ancient and difficult. It's a little difficult. Once this thing is difficult, it is prone to some failures. In general, is this common sense? When you are safe and secure, who do you talk to? God ladder. Mine. It's mine. Give me. Give me. No one can take away my divine body. Ah. Ah. Why? Why do you want to snatch my divine ladder? Fight. Fight with you. Bastards. All are bastards. Kill. Kill you. Go to hell. Roar. Wangtu, the first-class saint in the Temple of the Alliance of Light, made a crazy and violent sound. While talking at this moment, his eyes gradually turned blood red. Gradually, the whole person has no idea how to exercise self-control. At the moment of extreme madness, everything will be completely wiped out. Die. All must die. It's just that although he has been promoted to the top demigod state now, he can't do it if he wants to dominate the audience. After being jointly confronted by Shen Qiu and Kathy, they were unable to break through this wave of blockades. It is precisely because of this that there will be more numbness on the face. The more I think about it, the more my mind explodes. Damn thing. It's all dog stuff. Here are a few more words. Get out. Get out. Are you all sitting on the mountain and watching the tiger fight? Ah. Do you want to pick up a bargain? Asshole. In this world, how can there be so many cheap things to pick up? Everyone is not a fool. Can't you see these clearly? Asshole. Asshole. That's all. Don't you have any points in your heart? This saint has now resisted the strongest combat power under the command of this brat. Your chance has come. The skyscraper saint. Kill the Saint Chura. Sage Yu and Juxiang. There are also the most powerful demigods of the Protoss. You are not fools, are you? Since you are not a fool, you should be able to see through it. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3995. At this moment, my heart became more and more chaotic. While talking, his face was completely gloomy. Wangtu, the first-class saint in the Temple of the Alliance of Light, has long hated these people around him to death. Damn thing. This group of people. It's all humming dog stuff. The more I think about it now, the more chaotic I feel in my heart. In the end, it doesn't matter at all. Completely speechless. Pain. How many pains? Ah. What is the need to continue talking? In the end, isn't it cool to be suppressed? At this moment, no matter how much Wang yelled, these top demigods still remained unmoved. How many fools are there who can be promoted to this realm? Far from being fools, they appear extremely clever. Clever a little too much, it will scare you to the core. The picture in the depths of the eyes gradually changed into place, and everything was said without saying anything. The more you think about it, the scarier it becomes. The more I think about it, the more anxious I become. Damn it! Damn it! It's fine if other people don't help me, after all, they are all from different camps, they want to see themselves making a fool of themselves, they want to see themselves riding a tiger, they want to make both themselves and Fang Fan hurt, so that they can reap the benefits of the fisherman. But Yuan Juxiang and he are also the first-class saints of the Temple of the Light Alliance. This identity is there, what the hell is there to say? Gradually, the whole person fell into a state of numbness. His eyes flickered and his thoughts were confused. Then I couldn't say a word. In the end, the brain is almost completely suppressed. It's husky time. Too much pain. The more I think about it, the more uncomfortable I feel. The more I think about it, the more crazy and anxious I feel. Yuan Juxiang. Grass. Why don't you make a move yet? I order you to act. Wang too is a little anxious at the moment, so he seems a little indifferent. This wave is directly followed by crazy oppression. Such an effect is what I want. When the pressure is in place, it will be stable. For the rest, count it as a hammer. It doesn't matter. Didn't care about it at all? That's it? So real. Order me. Joke. What a joke. What right do you have to order me? Why? What are you yourself, don't you have any clues in your heart? So much nonsense. What does the saint have to do with you? Yuan Juxiang, another first-class saint in the Temple of the Light Alliance, raised his eyebrows, and suddenly burst into laughter. This guy looks like a bit of a sand sculpture, right? If it wasn't a real sand sculpture, how could you say such sand sculpture words? It doesn't sound good to my ears. Damn thing. It's all dog stuff. Aren't you a slave of this Holy One? It was agreed before, you will be my slave. How? You regret it now? Didn't it mean that as long as I can get down the ladder, you will be my servant? How long has it been? Ah. Asshole. Is this the rhythm of killing the master? The growling sound became quicker. While speaking, his complexion became slightly vicious. At this moment, the thoughts are flying in place, and everything is silent. Damn thing. It's all dog stuff. Let's talk about a hammer. After a wave, the whole person is about to explode. Extreme pain swept over, and the whole person was completely speechless, completely speechless. In an instant, the numbness felt a bit off. Who is the sand sculpture? I think you are crazy. The content of our previous bet is that if you can bring down the divine ladder and become yours, I will recognize you as the master. But now you haven't even handled this magic ladder. What does this divine ladder have to do with you? It's so funny. Heh. Heh heh. Are you actually telling me this at this time? I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on in your head. It's ridiculous. It's boring. Wang too. Don't play such little tricks in front of so many people. Oh. I remembered. At that time, you said that if you couldn't get the ladder, you would kill yourself on the spot. How is it? Do you want to do it? Directly kill yourself. Things have developed to this point, shouldn't it be your turn to perform now? Is that the case? Is what I said okay? The cold snort gradually unfolded, and the brilliance in the eyes burst out little by little. While speaking, the sound of breathing gradually became rapid, and the eyes flickered to the extreme. Yuan Juxiang, the first-class saint in the Temple of the Light Alliance, is not easy to provoke. At this moment, he directly showed his tyrannical posture. After some words, Wang Tuo was so angry that he was shaking all over at the moment. Hateful! Hateful! If it wasn't for the actions I did before, prostrating, worshipping, bathing and burning incense. Do you think this divine ladder will fall down? I made this divine ladder. Yuan Juxiang. You bastard! Do you want to play tricks if you are suitable? If you have to play tricks, can you just say it? Ah! Can you stop beating around the bush like this? Do you know? This is really disgusting. Grass. Oh shit. Labor and management are almost sick. Yuan Juxiang. You don't even have any structure. You bastard. Grass. I see it through. What the hell are you? Muttering voices came from around, and the more he talked at this moment, the more his face became redder. Facing Wang Tu's scolding, Yuan Juxiang naturally wouldn't give up. Anyway, they each felt that what they said was very reasonable. Immediately, the two of them went straight to it. All are seen people. This wave did not directly fight, even if it is not bad. In their own words, they still have a little restraint, and they dare not launch a counter-attack casually. I am afraid that something special will happen. This wave is very stable. Very comfortable. If you are in a mess in your heart, tell someone about everything. The state of the two of them really looked like a bit of shrew cursing. After sweeping in place at a glance, the consciousness of the whole person gradually fluttered. Forward. This wave is really weird. Numb the moment, let's talk to someone. It's nothing, just playing around a bit. No point, really no point. Now everyone's attention has even gradually shifted from the divine ladder to watching the scolding battle. This scolding battle looks quite interesting. Anyway, there is a high probability that this magic ladder is not his own, but watching this scolding battle, at least he can get a moment of happiness. No matter how you feel about this moment of happiness and joy, it must belong to you. For a time, happy. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3996. It's really cool to see two supreme demigods fighting with each other here. For a moment, the consciousness of the whole person fluttered completely. While the thoughts were surging, everything around was completely crushed into pieces. For a moment, the whole person became energetic. Feel happy. I feel it, and nothing else matters. Brother Fan. Here it is. Xiao Xiao hid in Fang Fan's arms, and then delivered the magic ladder to Fang Fan's hands. Fang Fan walked forward silently. This farce should also end. This Futuk Palace will continue to advance. Heart in the body is on the 5th floor of the Buddha Palace. What is going on? Stuck in this ghost place, I feel a little sandy for no reason. Whoosh. Whoosh whoosh. Suddenly, a flame lit up in the sky. Immediately afterwards, those fiery red beetles in the air suddenly came to life, and then flashed bright red lights one after another. The rays of light shone in all directions, turning the entire world into daylight. Fang Fan's heart trembled secretly. This is not right. If something goes wrong, there must be a demon. There must be all kinds of bells and whistles in it. At the moment, because of the change that happened here, many people immediately began to look around. The curiosity on their faces was beyond words. They looked at each other, and then couldn't help but chattered along. Why do I feel so gloomy? This ghost place is not a good place either. Hiss. It's so terrifying. Damn. The rhythm is messed up. Cough, 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 cough. Why do I feel that the tip of my liver is trembling? Don't scare me. I'm not scared at all right now. Scared you? Scared you a dick. This round has already collapsed, wouldn't it be good? Run away. Run away. I really can't stay in this ghost place any longer. Run away with the hammer. Continue to fight hard. Who knows what will happen in the future, so there is no need to worry too much now. Go. Go straight. Speaking of which, why is there no ladder to climb to the 6th floor on the 5th floor of the Buddha Palace? If there is no ladder here, we will not be able to climb to the 6th floor of the Buddha Palace at all. And we can't even fly in the Futuk Palace. You can't just stay here in embarrassment all the time, can you? If that's the case, it's really meaningless. Flicking here and there, I have carved myself in sand. Who knows? Anyway, this matter has nothing to do with me. I will run first as a respect. I don't covet rewards from higher floors of the Pagoda Palace anymore, I just want to save my life now. As for the others, I still care about a hammer. Let's go, let's go. The murmurs and murmurs from the surroundings followed, and there was a lot of discussion among each other. Faced with this sudden chaos, many people became uneasy. I even thought about running away. How dangerous it is to stay here. Who knows when it will be completely suppressed? No point, really no point. It's just that even if they want to run away now, it's not so easy and simple. The way to run has long been blocked to death. It is even more difficult to escape. Whoosh. After the countless fiery red beetles in the sky gradually became active, they began to frantically attack the position where Fang Fan and the others were. Of course, these fiery red beetles are not only targeting Fang Fan, but also targeting everyone around. This bug is weird. Be careful. It's just a bug, what is it? It doesn't matter. Still care about this? It's nothing. Sand sculpture. Aren't you afraid of being killed? Kill a few. Still care about this dog? Hee hee. It's just a small bug. Ah. My CAO. This little bug can actually eat people. Quick. Quick. Run. I can't take it anymore. All kinds of roaring sounds gathered in place, and for a while, the whole person was completely numb. This fiery red beetle attaches to the surface of the human body, and will immediately bite your flesh and blood. For a moment, it was obvious that strands of blood flowed into the fiery red beetle's body along its mouth. For a moment, the blood seemed a little blocked. And if you are bitten by this fiery red beetle, you will feel extremely painful. When this extreme pain swept in place, the whole person fell into a state of complete pain. Many cultivators started howling uncontrollably because they couldn't bear the pain. Go away. Go away. Don't bite me. Don't bite me. Dog thing. Dog thing. I'll kill you. Roll. All kinds of voices around are about to suppress everything around them. For a moment, his eyes became blood red, his breathing gradually became rapid, and his thoughts became extremely chaotic, and then he couldn't speak a word, and he was completely in an extreme sand sculpture posture. In the end, even the most basic will can't be shown. Anyway, it was so painful and disturbing in the end. Many of those with slightly lower cultivation bases were directly bitten by hundreds of these fiery red beetles, and then sucked up the blood on their bodies, gradually turning into mummies. Because the sucking speed is too fast, when the blood on the body is completely cleared, there is still a little consciousness, and then you can see the mummy start to jump crazily. The more I looked at it, the more frightened and uneasy I felt in my heart. In the end, I couldn't say a word, and I just had a shocked face. The other bells and whistles, let's talk about a hammer. In the end, it's a picture of a complete end. I am CAO. I've figured it out a long time ago. There are so many ghost places in here. I didn't expect it to be exactly as I expected. I'm humming a husky. How did you become such a ghost? Ah 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 ah. Terrible. Terrible. I can't stand these ghosts. Go away. Go away. Boy Fang Fan, let's run. Stop standing still here. I have a super hunch that something will go wrong later. If you run now, maybe there's still time. Fang Fan boy, you don't listen to what I say. Boy Fang Fan. When encountering such an occasion, Bai Piao is always the most excited. First, he yelled a few times, and then began to stir up a wave of chaos in the army. It seemed that in this way he would feel extremely graceful. For a while, it seemed very sandy. For the rest, let's talk about a hammer. The defense of these bugs is very high, very high. It even reached the level of quasi-demigod or even weak demigod. Unbelievable. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3997. Shui Wanren, deputy head of Guangming Academy, directly ignored Bai Piao, then frowned, and began to analyze the current chaotic situation. If this situation is not handled properly, accidents will happen. Once something happens, it will not be a small matter. Still fighting. If you want to escape now, there is no chance. Leave our backs to these weird bugs, and I'm afraid we'll all be eaten up. Now there is no other way but to gamble. If you take a gamble, there may be hope. Fang Fan shook his head, and then analyzed. At this time, I can only bite the bullet. Each of these levels is not so easy to break through. In the Pagoda Palace, the upper floors get more terrifying, and there are some crazier challenges too. Regarding these, Fang Fan was very clear, and already had many thoughts and consciousnesses in his heart. This wave can only be steady. It must also be stable. If it can't be stabilized, it will be completely torn apart, and then it will be meaningless. Fang Fan gritted his teeth, his eyes flickered slightly, and his footsteps began to move forward little by little. Gothic Destroyer Gatling Legion. All out. Don't save energy. Surround around and fire like crazy. Kill these beetles as far away as possible. Keep it away as much as possible. Fang Fan shook his head, while talking, his expression gradually became weird. Messy thoughts flickered in my mind little by little. Next, is the most exciting moment. According to this awareness and rhythm, there will be no major problems. As for the remaining fiery red beetles approaching, the soldiers of the other legions can still be killed little by little. As long as it is swept and filtered by 12 Gatling machine guns, most of the beetles can basically be filtered out. In the end, there will be no unexpected changes. Everything can be smoothly followed and stabilized. Boom. Da-da-da. After the 12 Gothic Gatling machine gunners opened fire, the surrounding flames of war were completely ignited. In the raging battle, there is a great sense of oppression virtually. Immediately, I couldn't control myself at all, and couldn't contain my mentality at all. In this way, after tossing and tossing until the end, he was completely numb. Right now, Fang Fan's surroundings should be regarded as the safest area. The surrounding beetles were basically cleaned up. At this moment, many people began to move closer to where Fang Fan was. Of course, he would also choose to avoid the gunmen of God Gatling, otherwise, Wouldn't he be looking for death? After the fiery red beetles were killed, their corpses suddenly began to gather in the distance. Is this dead, or not dead? Hiss. This is really a bit incomprehensible. I go. According to this situation, let's play with the hammer. It's all messed up, isn't it? Is this bug so evil? What the hell, you can still pounce even after you're dead. You can still play like this. If you play like this, it's really meaningless. Has this become an unkillable cockroach? Bipiao paced back and forth, and then began to make some weird remarks. The more I talked, the more excited I became, and then I felt like running away again. Of course, he also knew that relying on his own strength, he couldn't escape, and he didn't even have a chance to escape. So at this time, he wanted to drag Fang Fan along with him. If Fang Fan was there to take care of him, he would feel at ease from Bipiao's point of view. At the very least, I feel that I have something to rely on, so I won't be fighting alone. And he feels that Fang Fan is a lucky star, this guy is the son of destiny. If you hang out with such a man of destiny, there will be too many benefits. Otherwise, based on what he did, it wouldn't be too much to be beaten 100 times. The corpses of these weird bugs are actually building stairs by themselves. It's really extraordinary. Fang Fan licked his lips, his thoughts fluttered, and a strange expression gradually appeared on his face. Thinking about it this time, the fun is even stronger. No wonder there are no stairs on the 5th floor of the Buddha Palace. It turns out that there is still a deep meaning behind it. Fang Fan walked around for 2 steps, his eyes fluttered as he spoke, and his thoughts gradually wandered in his mind. The more I think about it, the more intense this feeling becomes, and everything goes without saying. The consciousness deep in my heart is expanding little by little. Interesting, really interesting. What's the situation? If you build a floating ladder with the corpses of these bugs, how many corpses of bugs will be needed? That's not a small amount. This can't be. Is it that exaggerated? That bug is just that big. Uncle G was stunned for a moment, and seemed a little dazed for a moment. This was far from what he had expected. Has a problem? There is definitely a problem. Once it can't be stabilized, it will collapse in an all-round way. If you can kill all the bugs in the sky above the 5th floor of the Buddha Palace, maybe it will be enough. It seems that this is the so-called assessment on the 5th floor of the Futuk Palace. Interesting, really interesting. Fang Fan squinted his eyes, his facial expression changed even more exciting as his thoughts fluttered. While talking at the moment, the thoughts in my mind are more and more in place. The rhythm gradually stabilized, and the consciousness gradually became clear. Fang Fan can see the mystery of this weird bug, and the others are even more so. For a while, there were bursts of anxious shouts from the surroundings, which seemed quite messy and noisy. All kinds of consciousness and rhythm also appear extremely disordered. Once you can't grasp these things, everything will collapse. Let's kill all these weird bugs. I am CAO. The point is, can this thing be killed? Once it goes up, isn't it a dead end? What the hell, and playing with a hammer. It's useless, it's completely useless. Have a hammer. Go up and do it. Labor and management can't even escape here now. What is this all about? It's messed up. Everything is messed up. Hey. What kind of ghostly place is this Futuk Palace? I don't want to ruin my life in this damn place. I'm going to die. Run, keep running. All kinds of yelling in the surroundings followed in a mess, and for a while, I was completely at a loss. Damn thing. It's all humming dog stuff. Running is the first choice. Many people have thoughts of wanting to escape again. Although the treasure is good, you have to live to enjoy it. Otherwise, it's all useless. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3998. Fang Fan's eyes flickered slightly. The more he thought, the more intense his feelings became. Carry out steadily to the end in accordance with the established rhythm, and everything else is a small problem. The road gradually widened like this. Boom. Rumble. Suddenly, a flash of lightning flashed past, completely illuminating the entire world and making it extraordinarily bright. Immediately afterwards, a gap unexpectedly appeared on the side of the 5th floor of the Buddha Palace. The Pagoda Palace, broken. Although the gap is not big, it can accommodate a person to get out. If you want to escape now, move to that position, and then drill out. Basically it will be stable. Stimulate. Really exciting. Thoughts wandered, and thoughts suddenly took off. Put your hands together in front of you, and your consciousness is expanding little by little. This is a godsend. Want to save us a life? Labor and management are going out? I can't stay in this damn place anymore, I'm going to go crazy. I am the same. Run away. Hurry up and run away. The rest, let's talk about a hammer. Why don't I just throw up? Get out of here. Be faster. Cool. This wave is really cool. Keep going. There were bursts of anxious sounds from around, and for a while, everyone trembled boundlessly. For many people who want to escape at this moment, the appearance of this gap is undoubtedly a timely help. If there is a chance to get out, it would be so cool. The tingling feeling deep in my heart swept in place, and the stream of consciousness gradually flowed away. Many people had already rushed towards the gap regardless of everything, and then began to line up and rush out of the gap. In any case, saving one's life is the first priority, and the others are all nonsense. It's all nonsense. However, at this time, many people raised a new round of questions. Could this be another trap? If anyone goes out, the special existence of the Buddha Palace will be obliterated later. Huh? How is it possible? So disgusting? How can there be such a thing? Hee. In other places, this kind of thing may not be possible. But have you ever thought about it? What the hell is this place? This is the Futuk Palace. It's not like this has never happened before. Now, it's just repeating the old trick. If it's really a repeat of the old tricks, it will completely collapse. How can you play this? It's too stupid. Hiss. I can clearly feel the infinite crisis here. If you are not careful, you will be completely cold. Sand sculpture. Have you read too many conspiracy theories? This is clearly an ordinary gap. Why do you think so much? Even if we are sand sculpting again, can we be a little more careful? No matter how you say this wave, there are some sand sculptures that go too far, okay. No matter what it is, if it is too much, it is easy to cause accidents, you know. Hee, didn't you realize that the timing of the lightning eruption is too ingenious? Is the timing of the gap even more ingenious? Can you see through all the mysteries here? If you can't see through this thing, why not play with the hammer? In the end, it doesn't make any sense at all. So, it's kind of interesting. Chaos. It's not about escaping, and it's not about not escaping. What are you going to do? Why don't you just wait here and die? The surrounding area looks very lively. Everyone's emotions are extremely high. While speaking, the picture in front of him was being torn apart bit by bit. For a moment, he was speechless, and his thoughts were mixed. In fact, it's not just these little guys who want to escape again, even for those existences in the top demigod state, they actually have to properly consider this issue at this moment. If these things are not grasped, there will really be big problems. If this problem goes wrong, you will not even have a chance to fight. At that time, it will not be as simple as a few words. At the end of the last, it is really the moment of the end of desperation. The more I think about it, the more messy my mind and body become. For a while, I didn't know how to make a choice. No one dares to choose easily. After all, this decision was wrong, and it really cost a life. Or, I'll go first. Before, I was afraid that the old guy Cassius would trouble me and punish me. I had no choice but to go all out to snatch the ladder. But now, I'm not afraid of that old guy Cassius anymore. If that old guy dares to do something, I'll go straight to him. Ah! They are all at the top of the demigod realm, who is really afraid of whom? It doesn't matter, these are all indifferent things. As for these sacred ladders, they are indeed treasures, but it's really meaningless to take such a big risk. It's better to do some risk avoidance first. Well, yes. That's right. Avoid danger. Avoid danger first. Let's talk about other things. Almost careless. I missed this opportunity by mistake and played with a hammer. After going out, it doesn't mean that these divine ladders have nothing to do with me. Humph. This kind of thing is always for those who see it. Unless they stay inside the Futuk Palace all the time, otherwise, as long as they leave the Futuk Palace, I can intercept them outside the Futuk Palace. At that time, it will be a reappearance of opportunity. Let these people fight for me. I'm a demigod now, I can't take risks easily. Gushat, the first-class god general of the Protostian city, was talking, and the scene in front of him gradually became messy. The more I think about it, the more my thoughts flutter in place. It is more than words. Hold on tight, you have everything. If you can't stand still, everything will be chaotic. It's that real. Walk. A gentleman does not stand under a dangerous wall. Let's get out of this ghost place first. Let's talk after we get out of this ghost place. I'll lead you to find a way out. I will never let you die in vain. I'm different from Cassius. Cassius only knows how to use you to flog you. But I, Gussa, sincerely regard you as my brothers. In the future, as long as you can fight to the end with me, when I achieve the god position, you can all ascend to the god realm together. I've given you the opportunity, now it's up to you to grasp it. Go. Come with me. Gusha waved his hand, and the expression of arrogance on his face was beyond words as he spoke. For a while, thoughts have been flying along. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shuyu. Chapter 3999. Gusha thinks he is really a smart person. He is different from Cassius. Or rather far from each other. From Gusha's point of view, he actually doesn't think highly of Cassius, he simply thinks Cassius is a reckless man. There is no need to expend too much energy to deal with such a reckless man. Cassius threw himself on the ladder with all his heart, desperate for the ladder. Because of such illusory opportunities. He. Even if you have those, do you really have the chance to become a god? Everything is just a possibility. And one section of the divine ladder is useless at all the divine ladders need to be assembled together. In this case, wouldn't the difficulty increase? Tossed to the end, the meaning is even less. It's nothing, I just know I'm making a fool of myself. The key is to rush to the end, it's useless. What's the point? It's the most silly thing to bury your own life and put yourself in a dangerous situation just for a mere sacred ladder. Anyway, it's impossible for me to continue making such sand sculptures. Call. Wait until I get out of here, I will be the king. Waiting for me will be King's Landing. Under this situation, there is no point in being blind. Right. That's right. In this way, the faith is gradually sufficient. Hold on, hold on. Quickly evacuate. Gusha licked his lips, ready to take a group of people out. After going out, we will directly showdown with Cassius. At that time, Cassius will definitely blame them for the matter of the ladder. But it doesn't matter, there is no fear at all. If you are upset, just start fighting. Still care about these things. Isn't it just a wave of strong beatings? Combat power surged to the extreme. Thousands of thoughts, gradually in place, endless stimulation. The more I thought about it, the more excited I became. The picture in front of me is also being torn apart bit by bit. The rhythm is there, the consciousness is there, and the mentality is more. Just when Gusha was ready to go out and show his grand plans with great interest, Talha, the third-class god general of the Protostian city who was lying on the ground weakly, suddenly got up. Facing a dead end, don't know. It's really stupid to the extreme. At this time, we are still marching towards death. After entering the pagoda palace, unless you die here, there is no way out. The fugitive must die. 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 Talha's voice kept trembling in Gusha's heart like a spell. In an instant, Gusha's footsteps stopped involuntarily, and his expression became slightly eerie. All kinds of grievances in my mind stabbed into place bit by bit. For a while, I couldn't say a word. Some are just filled with terror. You're lying to me on purpose, aren't you? You just want to scare me, don't you? Ah. Damn. 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 Don't think I don't know what's on your mind. I understand. I understand everything. Hateful. Damn thing. Crazy roars gathered in an instant, and for a while, everything around was obliterated bit by bit. That kind of mood and idea is simply difficult to maintain. In an instant, the hips are stretched to the extreme. Cool moonlight, it's in place. Gusha lifted Talha's body out of thin air, and then slammed it heavily on the ground. Cough, cough, cough. Puff. The weak Talha spit out a mouthful of reverse blood, and then spit it directly onto Gusha's face and body, splashing everywhere. The blood completely soaked the surrounding area. For a while, the whole heart gradually became numb. Excited heart, trembling hands. Completely numb. Let's talk about a hammer. It was numb there, and there was no support at all. I've said it and reminded me. Cough, 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 believe it or not, that's up to you. Anyway, it will be you who will die at that time. Heh, heh heh. Cough, cough, cough. Talha, the third-class god general of the Protostian city, held his chest, with a bloody smile on his face. While smiling, his eyes became sharper and sharper. For a moment, it seemed that everything around him was going to be completely suppressed. Such an idea and gesture, how can I tell anyone? In the end, I was completely numb. That's basically it. Madman. Speaking of which, shouldn't you hate me now? If I am killed when I go out from this gap, shouldn't you be excited? Why did you remind me? There is a purpose. You must have a purpose. Are you playing against me? You are afraid that I will just run away, and you will never find a chance to take revenge. So I want to use this method to keep me in the Futuk Palace. Because there are many crises in the Futuk Palace, I may be killed at any time. In this case, you will be happy. Snort. Do you really think that I can't see through your trick? I'm too lazy to expose it. Didn't expect you to take it seriously. Ridiculous. Really ridiculous. Dog things. All dog things. Laughed, totally laughed. The sneer sound followed in place, and the various pictures in the eyes gathered in place little by little. For a moment, thoughts fluttered, and everything was silent. As stable as ever, what else is there to say? That's basically it. Gushat, the first-class god general of the Protoss Tianlin city, said excitedly. He felt that his idea was absolutely right. He is so smart. This sand sculpture still wants to deceive him with this trick. Simply overwhelmed. If you insist on thinking that way, then I can't help it. Hee. If I just look at you, I won't open my mouth. You are dead or not, what does it have to do with me? But you bastard actually wanted to take the elite of my Protoss out together. In this case, wouldn't they die with you? These are the mainstays of Tianlin City. They are also the mainstays of the entire Protoss. If something happens to them, the entire Protoss will be wiped out. I'm here to save them. Huh. No matter how you say it, you can't let you torment the entire Protoss like this. The Protoss is in your hands, it will perish. It will perish. Your heart is doomed, you can only become a general who charges into battle, you can't be the king of the gods. Why? This is a catastrophe for the Protoss. If the Protoss perishes, it's all the fault of you bastards. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4000. Talha dared to say it. Maybe after completely exiling his own life at this moment, it really doesn't matter. Just like now, the whole person is in an absolute messy state. The thoughts drifted here, and then directly followed the comprehensive suppression, completely suppressing everything around it in place. That's basically it. Very real, very appropriate. In the twinkling of eyes, everything is silent. What did you say? Asshole. You say I'm not worthy to be the king of the Protoss. I'm not worthy. Are you worthy? Dog thing. Bastard thing. It's full of force. Kill you in minutes. You son of a bitch. I'm not worthy to be the king of the Protoss. Do you only have that paranoid Cassius in your heart? Ah. Is it this way? Do you think that only Cassius can become the king of the Protoss? Snapped. Clap clap. Gusha angrily slapped a few big mouths. But instead of slapping Talha, it slapped Quaid beside him. Quaid's body trembled immediately, and then became numb for an instant. At this moment, he raised his lips, and the sound of breathing was a little uncontrollable. With a messy heart, let's talk to someone. This wave, what else can I say? It's all messed up, totally messed up. The more I think about it, the more confused I feel. Damn it. You guys are fighting, and I, Quaid, have a hammer relationship? Ah. As for what? Just such a big mouth slapped on my mouth and slapped me like this. What the hell, it really hurts. At that moment, my mentality has already collapsed. Son of a bitch. They're all bastards. The more I think about it, the more my mind feels stuck. But he didn't dare to refute anything. This is the tragedy of being a dog. If you choose to sink, you cannot continue to be proud. Say something. Is it possible that Cassius can become the king of the Protoss? Is he the only one worthy? The voice of the ancient temple of Tianlin city of the Protoss became more and more anxious, and his face was already extremely flushed. Cassius. Ah. He can only be a city lord. To be the king of the Protoss, he lacks courage and heart. Cassius, and you are just half-hearted? Ridiculous, ridiculous. The sneer continued to show in place, and when Talha spoke, his eyes fluttered, and his consciousness was being stimulated little by little. With the feeling, the consciousness will gradually wake up. Very real and very clear. It is so clear and direct. Cassius can't. I can't either. Then tell me, Who is the savior of the Protoss? Who is qualified to be the king of the Protoss? Say something. Why are you dumb? Talk to you. Don't pretend to be dead. Grass. Hateful. Son of a bitch. A fierce roar followed, and all the words fell silent for a while. The current consciousness is completely messed up. It's nothing, just playing around a bit. I have the fate of a God King. If you all respect me as the God King, the God race will enter the era of Daxing. The Protoss will unify all races. Suppress Hangwu. Talha's eyes flashed, and then he said solemnly from the side. As soon as these words came out, there was laughter all around. Gush's serious face couldn't help but also twitched. Oh shit. Can you stop talking nonsense? After a long time, are you just selling yourself? Are you sure there's nothing wrong with your brain? If there is a problem, let's talk about it and fix it as soon as possible. Are you kidding me? I think you are really crazy. You are clearly a mad dog now. The sound of complaints followed in full display, and while talking at the moment, his complexion became more and more sinister. The thoughts are in place, and the whole person completely pulls the hips. This is also playing with a hammer. Lord Gussa. This guy is clearly talking nonsense, just trying to fool you. He has bad intentions. This is not a good thing. Master Gucha, I can't bear this guy. Just kill it. Then let's leave quickly. It's not good to stay here all the time. Master Gucha, tell me, is this the case? Master Gusha, it's important to quickly follow this wave. Lord Gussa. All kinds of excited and surging sounds followed, and while talking at the moment, the sound of breathing gradually became rapid. Thoughts fluttered in place, and consciousness gradually gathered. This time, it became more and more irritating. Excitedly don't want it? This wave has a strong driving force. Quaid, the second-class god general of the Protoss Tianlin city, was talking, and the eyes flickered frantically. Such an idea, let alone tell anyone. Very excited, very surging. Gusha remained silent. Looking at the narrow gap at this moment, many people have already turned out from it. Looking through the gap, these people are climbing towards the bottom of the pagoda palace little by little. As far as I can see, I'm about to climb down. Immediately, they will all be rescued. And they still have to guard where they are, not moving anything? Should something be done? Stuck in place, what does this really look like? Too difficult. Thoughts fluttered in place, and the sound of breathing gradually became rapid. One thought becomes a Buddha. One thought becomes a demon. How do I choose? This Talha, could it be fooling me? Damn it. The current road, how should I go? If you don't move anything, that won't work either. If he really hits the mark, then I will fall directly, and won't I be completely destroyed? At that time, it will really be a dead end. Talha. Talha. This bastard is not happy seeing me all the time, and he is not willing to surrender to me. But one thing I have to admit is that he has a lot of brains. He is indeed not an ordinary person. Maybe I should choose to trust him. Anyway, it's already reached this point. Forget it. I'm afraid of death. Stay in this ghost place. Let's see if those who go out can fully land. If they all landed safely, it would be inappropriate for me to escape if I had no chance. Snort. Talha. I really want to kill this bastard. Hey. But many times, this guy is useful. Difficult, too difficult. Now I can only grit my teeth and follow through. For the rest, don't think too much. All kinds of words are gradually in place, and the light in the depths of the eyes flickers little by little. Gusha's eyes have been focused on the gap on the side, looking very focused.